Joffrey, Renly, Robb Stark, they're all thieves. They'll bend the knee or I'll destroy them.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Citadel with me, Grandmaster Stitch, where we're starting a brand new series playing as the Shadow Kings of House Darkling here in the Dusklands. Now we are starting in a Rhoynish Wars bookmark, as I thought it'd be a bit of a different time frame to start as it's the earliest bookmark, and it gives us a very different Westeros, so it stirs things up a little bit and makes things a little bit different. Like, as you can see, the Ironborn are very powerful in this start date. They have a decent chunk of the north, a decent chunk of the Riverlands, Westerlands, and even some of the Reach, including the Arbor, so it'll be interesting to see how they turn out. Other than that, the Vale and North and everything as such are pretty much as they were, other than Dorne, which obviously hasn't been conquered yet by the Martells and Nymeria. And the Crownlands are pretty split up as well. We've got a couple of petty kingdoms as well as many minor lordships. So a great base for us to expand in to start with. And I believe it's the House Justman in the Riverlands, which it is, yes, who are currently attacking Iron King the Cruel in a war for vengeance. Okay, right, so here is our king, our Shadow King Steffan of the Dusklands. We're only 20 years old, so that's good. It gives us hopefully a long time to play as this king and really set up some basis for him. Let's have a look at one of our best traits. We're very good diplomatically, so let's go, well, for an ambition, let's go for what's going to be a fairly easy one to go for starters. Let's try and have a daughter. Just a nice easy one. Get ourselves some more children. And for a focus, we'll go with... we do have the family person trait, so let's go with family then. Try and keep it to how our character is. Try and stick with the traits. I do like to try and role play with the traits that we have. We have some sisters, so maybe we can form some alliances there. We do have one son, Zachary Darkling, 0 years old. Okay, so that's interesting. We'll keep an eye on him and see how he turns out. I don't really like this beard that we've got going on here, so let's try and make that look a little bit better. What have we got? Let's try and find something a bit nicer. Just a nice, there we go, that looks pretty good. And then a different hairstyle would probably look better as well. I don't mind the long hair, but I wasn't too keen on the one that he had. Let's see if we can get something a little better. We do look very, very Andal. Yeah, let's just go for that. That looks pretty good, actually. There we go. That looks better, in my opinion, so we'll go with that. Now, the early aims of this series will be, to start with, we're just going to try and get a bit more of a foothold around the Blackwater Bay area. Obviously, because King's Landing does not exist yet. It is classed as King's Landing, but obviously it isn't King's Landing at the moment. Because of that, we do have the biggest trade port and biggest city in the Blackwater area, so that's good. We have Duskendale, so if we can try and make Duskendale a lot more prosperous, we do have room to build a 6th holding, so we've got a very, very good holding here as Duskendale, so a really good footing to try and become a very strong kingdom. So yeah, the early aim is to try and expand the Dusklands and try and make them one of the powerful kingdoms of Westeros to match the Vale and the Rock and the Reach, and try and make the Crownlands, or the Dusklands as they're going to be called, into a much better kingdom. Right, so let's have a look what lords we have under us. We've got Rook's Rest, which is House of Rook's Rest. Right, so we've got some random houses. We have House Brindlewood in Brindlewood, House Antlers, I'm guessing in Antlers, yes, and Birch Hill is probably going to be House Birch Hall, sorry. Yes, so what I want you guys to do down in the comments below, similar to how we did with the Dane series, is think up 4 custom houses for these 4 houses. I'm not going to be adding custom characters, but we will be doing custom houses, so a nice house name and sigil and maybe a backstory to go with these 5 provinces for our 5 vassals. We have Rosby to the south, so that's going to be our close by kingdom that we're going to want to try and get a claim on and go for, but hopefully we can try and force vassalization on some of these other kingdoms, especially the people of Crackclaw Point. So that's sort of one thing that we definitely want to try and do. Let's have a look at our council. Wow, we've got a very good Hand of the King, who, Lord of the Antlers, he's very good. Wow, perfect. So at least we've not really got to do much there. We'll keep him as he is, and we'll get him to just oversee the realm for now. Master of Laws, not amazing. Is he 11 diplomacy? Have we got someone better? We have Roslyn Darkling, our sister, but we're probably going to try and marry her off, so we could do with trying to find maybe a better Master of Laws as well as Master at Arms. We don't really have anyone. Oh no, we've got this guy, Willis, our courtier. He's pretty good. He's not really got any fighting ability though, but we'll go with him for... No, he's going to be a better commander actually, so we'll try and employ somebody for a Master at Arms. Master of Coin, 15. you're not too bad. You'll do for now. We'll get you to collect some taxes in Duskendale. Spymaster, you're not very good at all. Let's see if we've got anyone better. Wow, yes, we have. Our mother, 15 intrigue. Yes, so we'll use her as our Spymaster. Then we've got our Maester, who's pretty good, serve court, and our Septon, 16. I'm guessing all of our land is already converted to the 7. Yes, it is. So we'll get you to perform charity in Duskendale instead. Let's try and find some characters then. So we need a Master at Arms and we need a Diplomat. So let's search in our own realm for now, see if there's anyone decent. Got the Treasurer of the Antlers, who's quick. Okay, he'd probably make a very good... Oh no, he's not much better than our current Master of Coin, actually. So let's search all and see if we can find somebody. Wow, we've got a Stormlander here, who's very good. The Justifier of Sweet Point. 23 diplomacy, yes. We don't even have to send him a gift. We can just invite him straight to court, so that's even better. So we'll try and get him in for our Master of Laws. And Master at Arms, let's have a look for someone with decent... Marshal, who isn't a dragon, of course, as the dragons are still at... Wow, look at... Core Red Whore. Wow, he's very impressive. He's better than most dragons, but... let's have a look what we can get. If we can get someone our culture, or at least Westerosia from a neighbouring kingdom, that would be better. I prefer to try and keep it fairly realistic. Like, there's a wildling here who's impressive, but I don't really want a wildling Master at Arms. It doesn't really make much sense. Okay, we've got this guy, though, who's pretty good martial-wise, but he doesn't actually have any fighting skill. I do want to try and get someone who can actually fight. Got a guy from 3 Towers. No one with any fighting skill by the... Ah, here we go. We've got a skilled fighter here. Oh, he's a Royce, so we're not going to be able to invite him. We've got a Clawman here, but no... Why have none of the good commanders or good martial characters got any fighting ability? This guy's a good commander, though, here, and we can invite him. So we'll invite him just for a commander. Let's invite him to court. He's a Stormlander as well, so close by. Ah, here we go. Urigan, commander of Orkmon. Oh, he's Ironborn. But he's a formidable fighter. We are close to some Ironborn territory, so we could go for him. Let's send him a small gift. It's only 15 gold, and then we can invite him to court. We'll go for him for our Master at Arms then. Maybe we can convert him. And yeah, there is like literally no other decent fighters, so we're going to have to go for that. All the other roles are okay for now. Let's have a look at our minor titles. Designated Regent, who's got a good opinion of us. We have got a couple of Darklings at court, our sisters. Your sister. We could go for our wife, though. Who's this? Our Maester. Our mother. Let's go for our mother, then. Bodyguard. We've only got one bodyguard at the moment. Willis. Keeper of the Swans. Let's try and get some of our lords on side. So we'll go with the Lord of the Antlers. Master of Horse. Let's go for the Lord of Rook's Rest. Master of the Hunt. Lord of Hollowed Hall. And High Almoner. We'll go for Lord of Brindlewood. Cupbearer. Who have we got that we can trust? Our Septon. Or one of the lords. He's cynical. Let's go with our Septon. Surely you can trust your Septon. Paramount Knight. Our uncle, Prince Olador of the Dustlands. Oh, nice. I didn't realise that we had an uncle, so that's good. Court Tutor. King's Justice. There's only one guy who can do it. Willis, so we'll go for him. And then we've got a couple of commanders there, but we're going to hopefully have some better commanders in a minute, because some of those are pretty pathetic, to be honest, and they're not very good. So there we go. Let's unpause so that we can wait for these courtiers to arrive. Hopefully very soon. There are a couple of kingdoms still independent in the Riverlands by the looks of it as well. We've got the Kings of Bracken and the Kings of Blackwood, so that's interesting, as well as the Mooting King. So there is a lot of potential land to try and expand into. We'll wait for our courtiers to get here, though. So we're at roughly around 900 years before the start of Game of Thrones, so we're not too far in the past. And here we go. We've got some people arrive at our court. Urigan Tawny. Okay, so we'll make you our Master at Arms. I'm just going to wait for a couple more of the councillors to arrive so that we can get them all doing something for us. We can start getting claims. Rosby are already at war. So the glorious Shadow King Stefan, blessing on you and your house. I gladly accept your invitation. We'll join your court forthwith, as well as this guy as well, Sir Lomas. Perfect. So we've got a couple of people join. Is that everyone? Who are Rosby at war with? They are attacking Lord Tommen of King's Landing and Rosby King's Landing vassalization war. Okay, interesting. So they're going to try and expand south. So we're going to want to try and get a claim on Rosby pretty quickly then before they get too powerful. So I think our first aim should probably be to swallow up Cracklaw Point and the Crab people. Get them on side, some good warriors up there, as well as getting that before the Mootons or the Vale do, of course. And then whilst we're doing that, we can get those claims on Rosby so that we can try and expand down south and swallow up them afterwards. Right, have we got our better Master at Laws now? Yes, we have. Perfect. So let's get you to fabricate a claim on... Let's go for the other titles first before Rosby itself. And now we should have a much better Master at Arms. Where are you? You there. Let's get you to train the troops for now in Duskendale. And we need to get our spy master doing something. Let's get you just to sabotage the economy in Rosby for now. And now we should have a couple of better commanders to bring into these roles. Let's have a look what we've got. Lord Stefan of the Antlers, you're bloody pathetic, so we'll put in Lomas. Lomas, if you want to think up names, family names for these new people that we've brought into our court as well, these knights, and please feel free to do. I like to try and add character to these custom characters. Well, these custom courtiers, to try and make them feel a little bit more alive. And let's get Davos of Highley in there as well as a commander, because he's got some pretty decent traits. As we can see, we've got a couple of crown loyalists, so that's good. Right, what can we do with our two sisters? 16 and 18, so that's nice. Both unmarried. We do have an heir as well as an uncle. Oh, we've got a couple of uncles, actually. Master of Ships of the Dustlang. Okay, so that's cool. Neither of them have got sons, but they're both unmarried, so that's good. We can find marriages for them to get some, hopefully, some sort of alliances nearby. What about these just over in Stone Dance, the Masseys? Can we somehow get the Masseys on side? Heir to the High Lordship of Massey's Hook. He's actually unmarried, so can we arrange a marriage between him and one of our sisters? Let's go, he's 17, let's go for Jane. Yes, perfect. So hopefully we can get the Masseys on side and use them to help us conquer this land pretty close by. So we want to try and get some allies who are close by if possible. We could go with the Mutons, but I don't really want to for now, because we'll probably try and invade them at some point. But they could help us take Cracklaw Point pretty easily, and then we can always turn on them in the future. So let's have a look if there is something we could do with House Muton. Not really by the looks of it, so we'll leave them for now. Who else have we got around here? House Bywater, but they're not High Lords. There isn't actually the High Lordship by the looks of it, other than in House Master. What about House Tarth? Have they got they've got a pretty decent High Lordship. Can we do something with House Tarth, perhaps? How old's his son? 2, but he does have a brother who's only 16, so let's arrange a marriage between him and it was Roslyn, who we've not married off yet. There we go, perfect. And then let's try and find a match for our two uncles. We'll do a lot of setting up in this episode, setting ourselves up for coming episodes when we will try and expand. So, Prince Durham of the Dustland. Let's arrange a... Oh, God, this is annoying. Let's have a look if there's anyone nearby that we could try and marry you to. Maybe some of the ones who haven't got heirs and such, and we can try and take in some of these lands. House Rayonet. Oh, so we've actually not got House Fawn in this bookmark. I thought they would have been in this bookmark. I'm sure they're in the Andal Invasion bookmark. Stokeworth. Is it actually Stokeworth? No, it's just of House Stokeworth. Okay, so most of these are pretty much nothing there. So we could try and go for another one of these close by lords. What about House Tumbleton? They're close by. Just having all these allies surrounding this land that we want to try and take is going to help us. House Orm. Okay, wow, he's got a lot of children, 3 of which are at the Night's Watch. Interesting. But he does have a 27-year-old daughter who is married, unfortunately. It looks like most of them are married, so we're not going to be able to get anything with those, unfortunately. Could have a closer look at House Muton. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll leave those on... What about House Justman? Oh, he's got 3 dead sons, nice. Who were they killed by? Murdered on the orders of Iron King, on the Iron King. Oh, so the Iron King came in and murdered all his children. The poor bastard, King Bernard II of the Trident. There isn't any more High Lords here, as we can see. So we'll save them, and we can probably do something with a marriage with those in the future. We've now got room for some more Sworn Shields, so let's have a look. We'll go for all these. We've now got 4 Sworn Shields, which is nice. Right, so let's unpause. Can we actually go straight to war with the House Cave and try and force... Wow, he's got a lot of kids. Yeah, can we try and force vassalization on these guys straight away? The only problem is a lot of people tend to get involved if you do this. Let's let things tick along. Let's get our alliances first, so that we've actually got some people who will help us once we try and force the vassalization, because lots of these petty kingdoms will get involved when you do that normally in these bookmarks. Blessed with you and your house. I accept the suggestion that Princess Roslyn and Sir Torrin get married. Would you like to form an alliance then? Yes, perfect. So we've got an alliance with House Tarth by the looks of it. Hopefully we can get House Massey as well. And that's 2 close by allies who have hopefully both got a decent navy as well. I don't know how much of a navy we'd have, and I imagine it'd be pretty decent. Let's set our crown focus in Duskindale, as I forgot to do that. And here we go. Yes, Lord Massey is willing to accept, so can we form an alliance with you? Yes, perfect. So 2 pretty good alliances there with close by neighbours. So now that we've got those, let's declare war on House Cave then and try and force vassalization and expand slightly straight from the off. It's going to cost us 250 prestige, but that's fine because we will gain some after we do this, and by doing that as well we cut off House Muton from Cracklaw Point, which will hopefully help us take the rest of the land. We can create the High Lordship up here as well, giving us more power. So how much manpower has he got? 960 men compared to our 4,000. So we won't call in our allies yet. We'll first see whether or not we're going to need to call in our allies, because if no one else gets involved, we'll be able to handle this war on our own. But I've got a feeling normally a lot of these petty kingdoms will join in, maybe the rest of the houses up here. Then again, it doesn't seem like they're going to. An agreement has been reached with Lord Tristan to see Sir Morgan Massey and Jane Darkling wed, and now the dowry is due to the groom's house. I shall give him plenty of gold and silver, offer the customary amount, a token gift. Let's just offer the customary amount, because we don't actually have a huge amount of money. That's going to bankrupt us a little bit. Hopefully we can make money pretty quick. To the Honourable Shadow King Stefan, your wisdom and mercy leisuring, I, Lord Selwyn, the second of Tarth, accept your proposal for an alliance. Good, thank you very much. And the masses have also accepted. Perfect, but hopefully we're not going to have to call them in. Your Grace, Shadow King Stefan, King's Landing is under attack from Rosbear and is in need of aid. We implore you to join our coalition against our enemies so that our mutual interests will remain protected. Yours, Lord Tommen of Blackwater Hill of King's Landing. Do you know what? We could get involved. It'll give us a bit of a rivalry with Rosbear, but then we also stop them from getting too strong too soon. Do we get involved? What is King Rosby's current opinion of us? 20. Okay, so he's got a pretty good opinion of us. Maybe it wouldn't be in our best interest to do it that way. They are weaker than us, though. They don't have as much power as us. But by gaining more land, that is going to make them more stronger. Of course, we'll get involved, and we can always help them if necessary after. Oh, and it looks like a lot of the Blackwater Bay houses are getting involved. Your Grace, Shadow King Stefan, Scorched Rock is under attack from Red March. Well, that's miles away, so no, we're not going to get involved with that, I'm afraid. So far, so good, though. No one seems to be getting involved in our vassalization, so that's good. Hopefully we can get away with it. Who are you? Scorched Rock? No, I've already said no, I don't want to get involved. So Dawn are already trying to conquer lands. Lord Davos of North Cracklaw has joined Lord Bauman of Cracklaw Baron in the Dustlands Cracklaw Baron vassalization. Well, okay, so some more of the Crabmen and the Clawmen are now getting involved. Your Grey Shadow King Stefan Byford is under attack from the Rock. I'm not going to fight against the Rock. Your Grace, we've received word from North Cracklaw, Lord Davos. Yes. Okay, yep, that's fine. We can crush them too. Let's bring the... Oh, and now House Crab of the Whispers has also got involved. So it looks like most of Cracklaw Baron is going to get... most of Claw... I always forget what it's called. The Bay of Crabs is going to get involved. Claw Isle will be... Yeah, uncolonised, same as Driftmark and Dragonstone. So we could try and take those. We'll change the names of them as well, because Dragonstone would make no sense for us. But hopefully by getting the islands as well, we can get some sort of naval power. Faith Militant has been restored. The Faith of the Seven and the High Septon historically had two military orders, collectively known as the Faith Militant, to call upon in defence of the faith. The warriors' sons were made up of fanatical knights, and many from noble families who had vowed to fight enemies of the faith. The Poor Fellows were the more humble order, made up of common folk and women. These lightly armed footmen protected the pilgrims of Westeros on their travels. Now the High Septon has acquired enough authority to restore the Faith Militant once more. Noble knights are flocking to join the warriors' sons. Small folk are joining the Poor Fellows in their hundreds. The faith is now truly a force to be reckoned with. Okay, interesting. Did we have zealous? I don't think we did. I don't think we were a zealous lord, were we? No. Ambitious, just, honourable, charitable, a family person, a trained fighter, a knight, and a charismatic negotiator. Just decent traits, actually, to be fair. Not too bad at all. Right, so let's get our men together. Okay, then, that's a decent-sized army up there, but we shouldn't have to worry about it. We've only got to get Cracklaw Baron under siege, really. That's all we've got to do. We are slowly coming out of debt, so that's good. There we go. We've had a victory in that battle. Got decent commanders in charge, so we'll leave that as we are. House Darkling is one of those houses that, for whatever reason, I've always really liked. There's certain houses like it that I just really like. I don't know if it's the sigil. I love sigils that are yellow and black. I just think they look so cool, like the House Templeton. I love that sigil as well, as I said in the Knights of Vandalius series, as well as they should be here, shouldn't they, in Honeyholt. House Beesbreath. I love that. I just love the yellow and black sigils. Blackmont as well is another one. I just think they go so nice together. It's like all the houses with purple sigils just look awesome. No matter what the sigil is, the colours just look so nice together. Oh, Baratheon, obviously, as well, is another yellow and black sigil that I love. So, right, we've got 4,000 men here, so this is going to be an easy siege. We could assault, but we're not going to do that. We're going to grind it down and save our manpower so that we can help out some of those Blackwater Bay houses, just to stop Rosby getting strong, really. That's the only thing that we want to do. They are only going to have to get King's Landing under siege, which they are trying to do now. Who are House Durrandon currently at war with? They're currently attacking Lord Devon of Atterdale. Okay, so they're trying to expand into this land. So that's another thing that we have to... That's why we need to expand fairly quickly if we can and try and swallow some of this land up before the other big houses do. I'm going to be very interested to see how the Ironborn do and see if House Hawk can actually conquer the Riverlands. But yeah, as I was saying about House Darkling, I've just always really liked House Darkling. It's such a shame that they died out before the main series started, because they seem like a pretty cool house, especially like the fact that they had, I think I'm pretty sure, they had the most amount of Kingsguard members as well of any house. So they must have been pretty badass until obviously they stupidly decided to kidnap the Mad King for whatever reason. My coffers are empty, but the Septs are rich. Maybe I should seize Sept properties to repay my debts. No, I don't think we will do that. Never the gods frown upon such impiety. We gain the trait Zealous, and we gain 50 piety, lose 1 stewardship. Or we could gain 50 gold and gain 50 piety, lose 50 prestige by compromising with them to fight. Yeah, let's do that. We'll compromise. I don't really want the Zealot trait, to be honest, in this playthrough. We'll do something a little bit different. Wow, that's a big army of houses down there. I don't care about dragons, especially not in Yeeti. So yeah, all we're going to have to do is get this under siege and we'll have won. You are bent low over your correspondence, struggling to stay focused on and to keep your eyes open when your wife, Queen Rowella, enters. She crosses the room and inspects the correspondence over your shoulder. Perhaps a fresh pair of eyes might prove helpful, dear husband. Perhaps you are right, she offers to help. Or we refuse her help and gain the 30% chance we gain proud, but will upset her. So perhaps your help will be appreciated, and we do obviously want to try and get some more children. Your wife has received an education in diplomacy like yourself, so she quickly grasps the nuance of the problem. As you explain it, the two of you set out to work, discussing and comparing alliances. Rowella is a most competent diplomat. Within the hour, you have laid the groundwork for a promising solution. A brilliant idea, Rowella. Have you any additional suggestions? Changes our opinion by 20, and our vassal opinion goes up as well. Yeah, so, or let us retire to the bedchamber, my dear. Leave your work for now and spend some quality time with Queen Rowella. What is her opinion of us? Pretty good. Okay, so she's not even highborn, she's just lowborn. I think we'll probably be able to get her pregnant anyway, so let's get the opinion better instead and get the vessel opinions up as well instead, because we're both young still, so there's a good chance we're going to get kids anyway. Once this siege is under control, that should win us the war, as they've got no other land. Oh, awesome, we've managed to actually capture the family as well. Your Grace, I'm pleased to report that I captured some high-value prisoners after our successful siege of Erinmount. I hereby turn them over to you for your judgment. Clap them in take them all into house arrest. Yes, perfect. There we go. So that's that war over, and we'll hopefully be able to ransom some of these prisoners as well. No, not release from prison. Offer peace. End forced demands. Perfectly. There we go. So we've managed to expand our realm, and that made it look so much bigger, even though it was only one province. And it is actually a cannon house as well, isn't it? Awesome House Cave. I think all of these should be cannon houses. Brune, we should have crabs and bogs, is it, in North Crackclaw? Yeah, cool. So at least we'll get to keep all those cannon houses around. It's just these other 5 in the Dustlands that aren't cannons. House Hollard, I would have thought would have been around, but apparently not. Right, let's see if we've got better commanders. Yes, let's go for Lomas and Oladar, our uncle. And we'll go down and help out in this war against Rosbeth. We'll lend a hand to weaken Rosbeth, but at least we've managed to strengthen ourselves. Let's have a look what prisoners we managed to catch then. 4 prisoners. Awesome. So hopefully we'll be able to get a nice bit of ransom in for that and make use of it. He does have several kids, so we could maybe form some sort of wedding pact to get him on side a little bit more. One of the Clawmen. It's nice to have a different culture as well with us. Let's march our army down south and try and make a difference in this war with Rosbeth. Is Butterwell independent, just completely to itself? It looks that way, yeah, unless they're just helping out. It'd be good if they're not, because then we could take Butterwell quickly, which is a pretty decent province. If we could take that and then Shoreham, that would be some pretty good land to have there to surround Rosby a little bit. We've got to let our prestige improve, unfortunately, anyway, before we can try and force another vassalization war. Hopefully by helping in this war that may do so. We'll just get Rosby under siege. We won't actually commit any manpower to the battlefield. We don't want to lower our own man count, so we'll just get Rosby under siege for now. That'll be our aim to help the Lannisters marching on Byford. But I suppose they are slightly weakened. They've lost Crackclaw, Fair Isle, they've lost all around the Crag, as well as, or what's this, High Lordship of Case, I think, isn't it? So they have lost quite a bit of land. Your Septon Jonah of Duskendale, who was performing charity work in your name, made the ultimate sacrifice when he was cornered by a desperate crowd of beggars in Duskendale and trampled to death. Oh, great. Lose 15 prestige. News from Blackmont doesn't really concern us, so we need a new Septon now. Do we have a Septon in our court? I'm not sure if we even... Oh, we need a new cupbearer, as he was our cupbearer as well. Let's have a look. Theon, Lord of Birch Hall. Is he trustworthy, cynical, charitable, content? He's content, so he's not ambitious, so he could do. And then we need a new Septon. Have we even got anyone? Medgar Septon of Duskendale. Yeah, perfect. And let's get you to perform charity again in Duskendale. Hopefully you won't get trampled to death by beggars. I think we'll help out in this war. We'll help out and put down House Rosby, and that'll probably be enough to round off episode 1. Hope you are enjoying. It's going to be a nice little mini-series on the channel where I'll do it pretty similar to the House Dane series that went on most days for quite some time, and I really enjoyed that, as a lot of you did. Your aunt, Princess Ruella Darklyn, has died, and now it falls to you to decide whether to make the funeral a big and special event, or just keep it a small and private one. Okay, I didn't even know we had an aunt. We could have married her off. She deserves to be honoured with a funeral, but it will cost us money, won't it? But it will give us some piety. Then again, we have some piety, so no, just a small private funeral will suffice. We don't want to spend a hell of a lot of money. So are we just classed as rivermen in our culture? Your Septon Medgar of Duskendale was cornered by a Why is there so many beggars? Was he killed? Seriously wounded? What's going on in Duskendale? Right, so we are just classed as rivermen here then, in the Dusklands, not Duskmen or anything like that, which I thought would have been cool. What are our general opinions on us? Okay, most of our lord's life is other than our new lords of House Cave. Your Septon Medgar of Duskendale was cornered by a desperate crowd of begging Duskendale and has been seriously wounded. Again, what is going on in Why have we got like some... Well, it says that the Rose Road and we're getting in good tax and such, and we haven't got any problems, so what's going on? I've been corresponding regularly with my sister Roslyn, and I'd always make sure to see her whenever I get a chance. It's a harsh world and family must stick together, family first. Change our opinion of our sister Princess Roslyn, who's now a Tarth. Perfect. That was the heir of Tarth, wasn't it, as well, I believe, which is even better. So hopefully it keeps us that good alliance there. Let's forward things along and get Rosby under siege. Hopefully we can get a good bit of gold as well from sieging down Rosby. The Rosby King's Landing vassalization war has ended. Lord Tommen of King's Landing lost. Oh, so they managed to take it. We must have captured him as a prisoner. Never mind. So Rosby grows stronger. It looks like they're going to be our main rivals. We're going to get Cracklaw and the Bay of Claws, and they're going to take most of this, aren't they, unfortunately. So let's march our army home so we can disband it. Let it recover slightly. Try and get House Cave on side a little bit more. Septon Medgar is no longer Septon. Okay, so he's died. Died of an infected wound. Oh my god, what is going on in... what the hell's going on in Duskendale? Okay, so we've got Septon Ryger of Duskendale now. And performs... I'm scared to get him to perform charity. He's probably going to get slaughtered again by the small folk. Got some real problem with the Septons, it would seem. Right, so let's get this army back home. Disband, and I'm just going to see if Butterwell actually is independent. Right, so disband unit, yes. Are you actually independent? Yes, you actually are. We can actually force the vassalization of Butterwell. That's awesome. We can't do it because we haven't got enough prestige at the moment, but it's good to know that they are independent. So, as House Justman is busy, that means we could take Butterwell, which would be a pretty good province to take. Does that mean that Shoreham is also? Then again, we're not bordering it, are we? So we may not be able to. Maidenpool, are you actually independent? Not sure. Are you like a petty king underneath another king? But we can go for these lands up here, thankfully, once we have enough prestige, so that's good. As well as if we can make some money, we can colonise the islands before someone else does. Are House Sunglass over on Sweet Point Sound? Yes, they are. Oh, it's off Sweet Point Sound. Well, at least I can actually change that to House Sunglass because their sigil's already in the game, so it's easy to actually put them in the game. But we'll end episode 1 here, so we managed to achieve, well, a fair bit, really. We had a pretty good episode. We managed to expand up into here where we're going to create this high lordship as well as get some nice cannon houses on the side. Don't forget to recommend 5 houses for these 5 provinces that need their sigils and house names changing. Something really interesting to fit with the land, maybe. I'll leave it up to you guys and I'll pick my favourites. And please don't forget to like and comment down below if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new here and you enjoyed. There's plenty more other Game of Thrones content on the channel. And hopefully I'll see you all very soon for the next episode.